Okay, so today we are going to learn about organizing and summarizing data. Okay, so when you do research, wahira imi halo pesquisa rumah, imi fotitia dados mais, so you get the data, right? After you get the data, you have to organize or summarize them in a way that can be easily understood or can easily be processed. Okay, so just to give an introduction, the overall research process is you start with research planning, you do research planning and you do experimental plan. And then after that, you get the data, right? So you obtain the data, and there are several ways you can get the data. You can get primary data from survey or interview, or you can get the data from observation and experiment. Or you can also get data from literature or databases, right? Agora, setelah imihetan the data ni imihan. So you are in a step of organizing and summarizing data. Okay, and then after you organize and summarizing data, then we will have to present data, right? So you'll have to present data. Now, after presenting data, that's when you can make a conclusion about the data. Okay, so right now in this class, we are going to learn about organizing and summarizing data. And we are also going to learn about presenting data and how can you present data. Okay, so let's start. So let's start with organizing data. Why? How do you? What do we mean by organizing data? So the definition of organizing data is Noemia. Can you read this for us, please? Read the definition for us.
Organizing data refers to arranging the raw data in a structured and systematic way to make it easier to analyze. It
Okay.
typically involves sorting, classifying, and categorizing data in logical.
Model. Okay, so basically organized data referring to arranging the raw data. Halo arrangement ba dados ni raw in a structured and systematic way to make it easier to analyze. Okay, so for example, you have a test score of students. For example, Professor Ida Halo tes ida niya 40 dados niya kada estudyante niya nilai niya mana 85, 90, 78, 88, 92, 84, 75, 91, etc. etc. Okay. For example, these are all the test scores of the students, right? And mahira imiharere tanesane. Lasigala imiharere dados bara kanesane kan. It doesn't make any good information that you can obtain from this, right? Idane bahir imharere dados na sanem. Say naman imharere. Idane imharere just a bunch of numbers, correct? Nasa numero barbara red mataha mutuk iha. Ihane, but can you make a conclusion out of this? Can you make an analysis from this data? Yes or no?
No, teacher.
No, you can't because the data is it's just a bunch of numbers. So in order to make a concrete analysis of this data, you need to organize it in a way. Imiteki hal organization ida. Wait, I have not recorded, right? I should record it. Okay, so to make sure that this data can be, if you want to make a conclusion, a good conclusion, or make an analysis of the data, then you have to somehow send the microphone open. Please close the microphone. Julieta Costa. Pakar tuir kelas ko, lako tuir kelas site it. Lagi ganggu yang selo. Okay. So student test score. So basically, this is all the data. So you need to organize it in a way that can be easily analyzed or make a summary or make a conclusion of this data. Okay, so basically when you do research, the objective is, pahira imi halo pesquisa ida imi fotitia dados ida mai, imi tem que halo processamento ba dados ne para atu imi mistura dados ne foi informação kono ba saída. For informação saída ba itani pesquisa ne. Dados ne colher kono ba saída, itabel com foti conclusão saída usi dados ne. Okay? Ne be sebelum atu foti conclusão ne, one data ser ne be foti ne, o tem que organizar talaya buat balo. Tama, imiharere data na sa neken, data na no sa numero mabarbarak na it maybe nila fo informação ida ba imi. Maybe the first some of the ways you can organize is by doing frequency distribution. For example, data tables, sorting in a descending order, or you do a cross tabulation or contingency tables, or you can order it in an ascending order or ordered arrays. Maybe for example, yeah, student test score ni haneman no sala. So you can organize this in a frequency distribution. For example, like this. So for example, you say, oh, nilai 70 to 79 ne, ema 9 makaheta nilai da ne. Ema sira nilai da husi 80 to 89 ne, ema 9 sia. Nilai da husi 90 to 99 ne, ema 9. Okay, that's an organization, right? Or you can organize it by a data table. Or for example, you can organize it with including the name of the student and the age of the students. For example, the name is Alice. Alice get a test score of 85%. Alice is 18 years old. For example, Jack is get 87% in his test score, and the age of Jack is about 20 years old. Okay, for example, Maria got the test score of 79%, and the age of Maria is 18 years old, for example. Yeah, so that's what you call a data tables. You can also organize it in a descending order, meaning from the highest to the lowest. For example, Emily mak nomor 1, so Emily is the highest. The next one is Henry. Emily has a test score of 92, and Emily is 21 years old. And the next one is Henry. Henry, the highest test score is 91, and Henry is 18 years old. So basically, you're sorting it in a descending order from the highest to the lowest. Usually, descending nene babay nga sa fire rapport ne. Mr. Sira organiza ne sa neto. Your sato uluk maybe. Or you can organize it by like cross tabulation or contingency table. Por exemplo, ibihakarak ihanene ihe minia age de makihane e depois ia linha sorry na bane linha grades nebe medium. Oh, ema sira idade. So if I ask this, okay, students that is 19 years old can get a grade of between 80 to 89% is how many students get a, okay, for example, how many students get a grades of between 80% to 89%, but and 19 years old. Berarti mere grade 80 to 89, 19 years old is here. So there are 2 students that get the grade of between 80 to 89% and they are 19 years old. So that is a contingency table or cross tabulation tables. For example, you can also order array or in an ascending order. Okay, so these are some of the examples of where you can organize data. Any questions so far? ¿Hay preguntas? ¿Hay preguntas, Roma?
No, teacher.
Okay, so no questions. So now that you know about different ways of organizing data, and how do you organize data in like, so most of the time we are going to learn about the frequency distribution organization over here. Okay, so today we are going to learn about frequency distribution and how do you organize data in a frequency distribution using frequency distribution. Now the first question becomes, what is frequency distribution? Huh? Favani, can you read this for us, please?
A frequency distribution is a way to organize data that shows how frequently each value or range of values occurs in a data set.
Okay, so a frequency distribution is a way to organize data that shows how frequently, comprende Lefon, how frequently neto each value or ranges of value occurs in a data set. Also, there are 2 types of frequency distribution. One is we call an ungrouped frequency distribution, where, for example, if you have a test score 55, 60, 60, 65, and 70, or you just organize it that, okay, so score 55 is only one. How frequently does score 55 appear? There's only one here, so we write, there's only one, so we write 1 over here. What about 60? So 60 has 2 persons that get 60. This one also gets 60. This one also gets 60. That's why we put a frequency of 2 over here. Okay, 65 also the same thing. It's here. 70 is also the same thing. But then what happens if you have like 100 data points? For example, ini have data na 100. Mahiri mi tahu na sana frequency da ungroup frequency distribution na imagine sana makontese. Im na tabela na siya akan narrow close, very very long table. Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Yeah.
teacher.
So that's not a very good one. So that's why we have also another one. We call it a group frequency distribution. So that way you have to group it. So for example, the test scores are 50, 53, 55, 60, 60, 65, 70, 74, and 78, and 79. So you can group them. So you group them between, so from 50 to 59. How many person get from 50 to 59? So this one is 50, 53, 55. So this is 3 person is part of this range. 50 to 59 range is how many? Is 3. Okay, what about from 60 to 69? So this is 1, 2, 3. This is also 3. Frequency 3. What about from 70 to 79? So that's 70, 74, 78, and 79. So that is 4. Okay, so that is what you call a group frequency distribution. Okay, so that's a group frequency distribution. Right? Any questions so far? Questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, good.
None, teacher.
So what is relative frequency distribution? Euphrasia, read this for us.
A relative frequency distribution is a summary of how often different values or groups of values occur in a data set, represented as a proportion or percentage of the total number of observations.
Okay, ohing hare when you lit here, ohing diang ita level halo ang group tambah itine data ne naru close, masalah? Tambah itine data ne naru close. Maybe halo group tiya. Maybe sekarik mo itine group ne mas naruk ta, naruk halo naruk litan. Anta imi bela representa iha relative frequency distribution. So relative frequency distribution is just basically you want to represent it in a percentage. For example, yeah, 55. 55 ne kan imi hare hane. The formula of relative frequency is the frequency of the class. No, not the frequency of the class. Frequency of the range or ranges of data. So for example, frequency of range. For example, 40% mayusi tamba 40 only 2 this is 2 because 60 score of 60 appears twice, has a 2 of frequency. And then the total sum of 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. The sum is 5. So this 2 is in the numerator, and then the sum is in the denominator, which is the total number. And then you multiply that by 100. That is how you got the 40% over here. That's why you put in the relative frequency over here. Comprende ta? Relative frequency is basically just the percentage. Okay?
Comprende,
Alright.
teacher.
So
Comprende, teacher.
now relative frequency. Now what about the group frequency distribution? The same thing. So that's the same thing. Yeah. So you get 3 divided by 10 is you get 30%. This is also 3 divided by 10, you get 30%. This is 4 divided by 10, you get a 40%. That's a group. So that is a relative frequency distribution. So far, you know about what? You know about frequency distribution, and you know about relative frequency distribution. Okay? Okay, what about cumulative frequency distribution? Tell you, read this for us.
A cumulative frequency distribution is a summary that shows the accumulation of frequencies up to each class or group. It
Okay,
represents the running total of frequencies as you progress through the data,
okay.
showing the total number of observations that fall below the upper boundary of each class.
Okay, so basically what it says is that, for example, this is the same example, yeah, ungroup frequency distribution. So basically, you already know how to get this relative frequency, right? So you know how to get this already. So the next one is cumulative frequency distribution. So the first row, all you need to do is just transfer it from the relative to the cumulative. Just as simple as that. But the next one is you have to add that 20 add to this 40, 20% plus 40%, and you put to the second one. That's 60%. Right? So the next one is 60% plus 20%, you get 80% over here. Right? So 60% plus this 20%, you get 80% over here. And then 80% plus this 20%, you get 100% over here. Or similarly like this. Okay, the same thing like this. This one, you just move it to the other side. 30 plus 30 is 60, you put it here. 60 plus 40, you put 100 over here. Comprende?
Yes, teacher, comprehend.
Okay, questions. So now you know about what? You know about frequency. You know about frequency distribution. You know about relative frequency distribution, and then you know about cumulative frequency distribution. Okay, but how do you came up with? So right now, I want you to let's develop a group frequency distribution. I think the group frequency distribution is probably the most useful here when you deal with the data, right? That's why there is some step associated on how we can do that. Okay, so suppose we want to study 50 wealthiest people in Timor-Leste. Okay, por exemplo, ita hakarak halo estudo ida, kono bat ema paling rico liga Timor-Leste top 50 nema se. Ita hakarak haturu ema paling rico liga top 50 e Timor-Leste ne nini idare ne hira husi hira. For example, that's what we want to know. So first of all, so the first thing you need to get is get their age, right? So the original data from where you call, that's what you call the raw data. For example, this is the data that you have collected. So one person is 45 years old, the other person is 92, the other person is just 27, but top 50 most richest person. The other person is 71, 62, and so on and so forth. So this data is what you call a raw data. Kata data that they're not processed yet. Now that you already have the raw data, how do you develop group frequency distribution? Okay, now step one is involving, you need to find the maximum and minimum value. Okay, now my question, everybody look at this data. What is the minimum value of the raw data? What is
27.
Huh?
27.
45.
No,
45.
27 here. 27. What is
27.
the maximum value?
92.
92.
92.
92.
So minimum value is 27 and maximum value is 92.
92.
So, and then the first step, that's the first step. Now the second step is what? The second step is you need to organize range to cover the minimum value and the maximum value. So it is recommended to use the increment of 10, 100, or 1000 depending on what data values you have. So when I look at this, the minimum and maximum value, I think I'm gonna increase it. I'm gonna increment of 10. Okay, so from 10 to 20, 10, 10, 10, increasing of 10, 10. What do I mean by that? So basically, I have a 20. That's so big because I have a minimum value of 27. I'm just gonna start at 20 so that it can cover. Because the goal here is to find the ranges. You want to cover everything that is in the minimum and to the maximum. So we select a value that is, for example, below 27. If it's 31 is the minimum, I'll select 30. If it's 51 is the minimum, I'll select 50 and up. Okay, so basically that's how you do it. And then you increment it by 10. So 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and 70, 80, 90. Okay, after you get that, then you can go. So when you go from 20, this has to go to 29. Why 29? Because the next one is starting at 30. You cannot go 20 to 30 because the next one is already started at 30. So 20 to 29 only. Okay, so that also the same thing. So from the next one is from 30 to 39. Because The next one is started at 40. So you do the same thing with the rest. So this is 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 99. So this is what you call the age range. Range, yeah? So range meaning you just put it from 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 40. And this is what the range of the ages of 50 people here, 50 most wealthiest people in Timor-Leste. Toene, comprende, Gale? ¿Es preguntas, Ruma, Toene?
Comprende,
No,
teacher.
teacher. Comprende.
Okay.
Comprende.
Okay, now that you have that, now you need to find the frequency of the range. Agora imhareto. The people that is aged from 20 to 29, how many people is there? Buka toke da raw data ne. How many? From 20 to 29 years old.
1.
Only one,
One.
right? You only this 27, right?
Yes.
So you only have one person. What about from 30 to 39? Look at through the data. 30 to 39. So you have 30 to 39. So where is
We have
30 to
two.
39?
2.
Two?
Right there.
Two.
So 30 to 39. So I have 38, 238 here, right?
Yes.
Wait, is that 2?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, then I'm wrong.
2.
6,
Change this. Okay.
Hindi have TV.
Okay, what about from 40 to 49? Let's look at it. So 30 to 39 is 38. These two 38s over here, right? Yeah.
9.
9. Let's check. So 40 to 49. So 40. So 45. 1,
6, 7,
4, 1, 2, 3.
2,
Yeah.
3.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8,
9.
7, 8,
9.
and 9. Right? Okay, so 9. What about from 50 to 59?
12.
11.
Huh?
12.
Yeah, okay, let's
Is it-
see.
12.
50 to 59. Let's count. So 50 to 59. So you have 1 over here, 2 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
11.
6,
11.
7, 8, 9, 10,
11.
11.
It's 12, teacher.
12.
There's
Teacher.
one
12.
more.
12. 12. It is
12,
12.
over
teacher.
here.
'Cause-
So 12. Okay, what about from 60 to 69? So 1, 2,
2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
11. 12.
11, teacher.
9,
12. 12.
10,
12.
11.
12.
11, 12.
12.
12, teacher.
So that's also 12. Okay, what about from 70 to 79? So 70 to 79. We don't have it here. So 70 to 79. So 1, 2, 3,
3.
3.
4, teacher.
4, 5,
5.
5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Yeah, 5. What about from 80 to 89?
3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
7.
7.
7.
Okay, so this is the 7 one. 7. Okay, I think 90 to 91, 99 is exactly 2, hopefully. Okay, so 90 to 90, 99, that's what, 90. So you have 192 over here. 91 over
It's
here.
only
Right?
2.
So 2.
It's only 2.
2.
Okay. So when you total this all frequency, this has to sum up to 50. Okay, so now step T is just find the frequency of the range. So just like that, you already develop your group frequency distribution. Just like that. It's easy, simple, right? Comprende? Understand?
Understand?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, now that you already find the frequency distribution, let's calculate for the relative frequency. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 7, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, and 7. This one is 2.
Colega, sa ka microphone ba?
This one is 7. Okay, so now that you already have that, so the sum of 50%. Okay, so what you get? Then this has to be
At bakit?
Sisters nila mo bukok lang sa bulat.
okay. So the way you do that is you have to get the frequency of range. So for example, this 12 over here, total number of observation, that's 50, multiplied by 100, you get 24%. Right? Now you get a 24%. So comprende o no insama ang 24%, oh?
Yes, teacher.
That's easy. And
Yes,
then you
teacher.
just do the rest for the rest of that. So 2%, 4%, 18%, 24, 24, 10, 14, 7, and then 4%. So pretty much do the same thing of that. Now, cumulative frequency distribution, just like what we did earlier. So just bring the 2% to that, 2%, still the same thing. But after you bring that first one, you have to add 2% to 4%. That becomes 6. Oh, sorry. This becomes 6%. This becomes 6%. And 6 plus 18, that's what? 24?
24%.
24%. 24 plus 24, that's 48%. 48 plus 24, that's 72%. 72 plus 80, that's 82%. 82 plus 14, that's 96%. 96 plus 4, that's 100%. Okay?
Okay.
Basically, this is how you do it. So you bring to a 2%, 2% plus 4%, that's 6. 6 plus 18, that becomes 24. And then you just do the same for the next one. And then you get your cumulative relative frequency over here. Okay? Comprende?
Comprende.
Yes,
Okay,
teacher.
so this is, so any questions?
No.
Okay, so that's
None
pretty easy,
so
right?
far.
So that's how you can organize data. So basically, we will be doing a lot of this frequency distribution. So now, right now, you already know how to organize in a frequency, relative frequency, and cumulative frequency, not cumulative relative. I'm wrong here. This has to somehow edit it. Okay, so right now you're just presenting the data. So you just have to plot it. So one way of presenting the data is what you call a histogram. Okay, histogram is just simply a bar chart. It's just a bar plot, just that looks exactly like this. Okay, so that's what histogram means. So if you compare the frequency, because basically histogram of frequency is you just plot the H range against this frequency over here. That's a histogram of frequency. If you go to histogram of relative frequency, it's just, so it's just this, you just plot this H range against this relative frequency over here. Okay, that's the relative frequency that. So both of them, if you look at these two plots, are these two plots similar or no?
Similar.
Similar, right? It's the same.
Yes, teacher.
Because so what, like what I said, if the frequency is much more, like for example, if the frequency tama to 100 sila, then ito na yung age ninyo agent to narog ta satu leteng na ba? Satu 2,000 ke 3,000 na kali, that will be a problem, right? So it will be a problem and for our data to plot. That's why we use relative frequency distribution, because it just gives you the same conclusion. But the difference only is you use a percentage. You normalize it to 100. So basically that's what it means. All right. Okay.
Teacher, in a histogram, I think there are some changes because
Oh yeah,
Um,
you're right.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to bring back this data from earlier, right? I have to bring this data. Let's plot it actually. Let's plot it in because we did some changes actually. Okay, let me just plot this. How do I plot this? Okay, how do I bring this data to that so that I can just plot it? Okay, just let me just take a sniping tool of this. Okay, let me take a sniping tool of this. I'm gonna do it in Excel. But oh yeah, even that one also I did it in Excel, so it should be pretty easy. So okay, so this is my data. So let me just minimize this just to I can plot it. So age range, and then I have frequency, and then I have relative frequency. Can you guys see my Excel? Right? You had it, huh?
Yes, teacher.
And
yes,
then I have
yes, sir.
relative frequency. Okay, so I have this and I have this. I'm just gonna make it organized. So the age range is 20 to 29, and then 30 to 39, and then 40 to 49, and then 50 to 59. Oops. And then 60 to 69, and then 70 to 79. Oops. And then 80 to 89, then 90 to 99. Okay, but I want to make everything in the middle. So yeah, and make this a bold one. So frequency from 20 to 29 is just 1. So this is 2, 9, 12, 12, and then 5, 7, and then 2. Okay, so and then you just get a sum of this, and then this one is just easier now. So I'm just gonna get this divided that to 50, make this as this, so that, and then make it write this as percentage, and then make this equals to that, and then take, and then this next one is just simply equals to this one plus this one, and then I'm just gonna drop this all down. Voila. Okay, and put it all the borders to it. Voila. Okay. So now that you have that, so frequency, histogram of frequency is just, you block this too, go to insert, and then you just go to this table value over here. And then I'm just gonna make it bigger. Oh, it's too big. And then I'm gonna insert the axis name into it. I'm just gonna put this here frequency. And then I'm gonna put a age range over here. And then I'm just gonna edit this to histogram frequency. Frequency, histogram of frequency. Okay. I'm gonna make this everything black. And I'm gonna bold this. And hawa karakalo ninyo narog ni basic malit once. So double click on that. I'm just gonna make it 50% only. There you go. And you can even change the color to whatever color you want. I can just change this to the shape field. Let's say this one. Yeah, make it this one, and then make the outline black so it makes more transparent or whatever. Yeah. Or let me just make it a little bit bigger. The outline is a little bit bigger. Make it like this one. That looks okay. Now, okay, so that looks like a better. And then that is the histogram for of frequency. And then now we'll have to plot the histogram for the relative frequency. You just simply do the same thing, insert and go to the studio table. And then you just have to put the axis, relative frequency. Okay, and then you are going to add what age range, right? Okay, and then histogram of, I'm just gonna edit this. I'm just gonna add the word histogram here. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm just gonna make everything black, and I'm gonna bold this. I want to make sure that this table has the same size of this. So I'm just gonna overlay that and then plug it here, and voila. So I'm just gonna change this into a 50%, also like the other one. The gap width is 50%. And I'm gonna maintain the same color, just the different outline. But let's pick a different color. What about this one? Yeah, this one looks better. 75 rated first. Okay, so now you already do. So we can replace these two figures to our PowerPoint. Okay, so this one and this one is changing to that. Oops. Oops. I don't like this. You have to transfer it one by one. Okay, so this one is over here. Oops. What is wrong with me? Okay, so this one is over here. Histogram of frequency. And then it's histogram of relative frequency. So we'll just have to put this over here. And voila. Let's see if there is a designer that can have us nah, don't like it. Probably make it a little bit bigger. Make it bigger, and voila. Okay, so these two graphs look just exactly the same. That's the histogram. Okay, that's how you plot the histogram. We'll do more exercise later on how you can do this on your own, but pretty much that's the process. So now that you have the process over here, and the next one is what you call an OGIFs. OGIF is just, you're just plotting the cumulative frequency with the class. So the way you plot OGIFs is just simply, you go back to this. So you just change plot this and cumulative frequency, and then you just do the same thing with this. No, instead of bar, so you just have to select this scatter plot and goes to this one. Yes. And then you get this. But the problem is you need to change this axis. X-axis here is, instead of putting this class age range, it just put 0 to 1, okay? Which I don't like it. Let us edit this. So you have to put cumulative frequency distribution. And then this one is what you call an OGIFs. Okay, this is what you call an OGIFs. Yeah, it's just a name. This is a fancy name for that. Oh, and then we forget to put the x-axis title. So that was age range. Okay, but we need to change this. Instead of putting this from 0 to 1, we need to put it from. Oh, can we select data and then edit data? Can we do this like edit right away inside? Okay, let me just add this, like X values are what? 20 to 29. And then 30 to 39. And then 40 to 49. Then 50 to 59. 60 to 59, 60 to 69. Comma, 70 to 79. 80 to 89. Then 90 to 99. Let's see. Does it work? Oh, maybe it uses like a semicolon or something. I don't know. I forgot how to use it. Oh, sorry. It's 70 to semicolon. And then this one is also semicolon. Let's try. I don't know if it works, if it's gonna work. Oops, it doesn't work. And why is that? It is correct. I just don't know how to. Okay, come on, Excel. What you doing to me? Okay, so let's go to the select data. Cumulative frequency, you are editing. Let's try 20 to 29. Use semicolon 30 to 39. Can't? Space. Oh, wow. This is gonna be a problem.
You can put
Yeah.
equal.
Huh? I was hoping to put this as a 20 to 20. I don't think Excel can do that. We put an
Tahu look equal ya be. Dadus nyawin.
no, it's not about that. No, it's not about the equal sign. Are you sure? Let's try. If you put that, then that becomes
No. In that yeah, dadus ida tahu ya bay.
ini ya.
Yes.
Yeah, I put an equal here. That's already equal here. Hold on, yeah. X values.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Let me try this again. So this one, going to this one, and then going to this one. And this, I'm just gonna, never mind. I'm just gonna plot this and into that. And I'm gonna plot this as a table, which I already have. And I'm just gonna add this. Okay, let me select the value of a cumulative frequency. Okay, this looks okay. And I just change the chart type to combination and make this relative frequency as a primary axis. This is a secondary axis, but this one is going to align like this. And voila. But then I just have to remove this data. Oops. Now, as soon as I remove that, that's gonna be a problem. What about I'm just not gonna just put any fill on it? No fill. You remove anything, no outline. Yep, and then I just have to delete da-da-da-da. And make this 100. Number is in a percentage. Awesome. And make this is until 100% only instead of this one. Okay. Oh, and then how many decimal points? Just 0 to 1. Okay, so let me just delete this. Voila. So this is what your cumulative frequency. And then the x-axis is age range. Age range. And then the title. This is what you call August. Okay, so this is the August. I'm sorry it takes a while, yeah, guys. I'm trying to figure out this stupid thing. Okay, so this is the August to make it bigger. Alrighty, so this is your August. So basically, August is just you're just plotting the cumulative frequency with your age range that you already have. Okay, and the next one is the combination of August and relative frequency, like what we just did earlier, which is pretty simple now. I'm just gonna delete and do it one more time. So this one, and this one. Block them together. Just insert of tables. Then go to change chart type, my combo. I'm gonna make my relative frequency distribution. This one is a secondary axis, and this one is this one. Oops, sorry. This one is the secondary axis, and this one is a bar. I'm sorry. Actually, cumulative is the same. That is correct. And this one is the bar. And voila. And voila. And just make this a bit bigger. And then this is the combination of August and relative frequency. Okay, so these are all so this one is cumulative frequency distribution. And this one is age range. Oops, God, this is not happening. Repeat the same mistake twice as the definition of idiocracy. And then just select the data, and then you want to add this. And the series 2, you make the series 2, make it combo, and series 2 is a line, and make that a secondary line. And voila. But you need to change this into percentage from 0 to 1 only, and numbers to percentage. Okay. I want to reduce the number in a decimal, although it's 0 decimal. Okay, now better. Looks better, right? It's a bit complicated, but it's worth it. Okay, so that's the OGIFs, and so this is the age range. So when you learn about how to use this kind of stuff, you can do like, so this is the relative frequency. And that other one is the cumulative frequency. The frequency. Okay. I can do this one, and then I need to add a title. Okay, never mind about the title now. Just copy this, put it our PowerPoint. Oh, voila. Oh, wait, I still need to make this thing smaller. 50. Okay. Voila. Oops. Okay, so this is the OGIFs and relative frequency. Okay, so this is the OGIF is the combination of this, the cumulative, and the relative frequency together. So it looks pretty nice, no? Yeah,
Yes,
pregunta?
teacher.
So basically, when you look at this data like this, so mahirap yung data sila nasa na it's better for you to analyze, right? So you want to, for example, in this OGIF lines, you say what is the top 70%? Oh, what is the top 70% of the students? What's top 70? That means everybody here from here going downward, like top 70, meaning, oh wait, top 5, like the maximum. How do you analyze OGIFs and relative frequency? So for example, if you want to say, usually people use OGIFs and relative frequency to see top 50%. If you just look at the data of 50% of the population, then that will be between only 50% of the population is the age of the top 50%, yeah, is between 20 to 69 only. So 50% is somewhere over here in this region. Somewhere over here is the 50%, and it's over here. And less than 50% of that, yeah, is age from 20 to 69. So most of the majority of the people, yeah, between from age from 20 to 69, and the rest are just 70 to 99. So basically, you can make a conclusion from like this. Later on, yes, question. Kuya ba? Any questions so far? Preguntas, Ruma?
None, teacher.
Okay, let's do some other table. Let's do some other plots. Let's explore what Excel can give us. What kind of table can we do here with Excel? Let's say I want to do the relative frequency of the, let's say, a pie, 2D pie. Okay, this is a pie chart. So, but then you can you change this to, this is the text field, text outline. Nope. I don't think you can change this though. Oh, Okay, select data. This x-axis is has to be cancel it. Let me cancel this, and then I'm just gonna select these two things, and then these two things. I'm gonna insert this as a 2D pie. There you go. So this is what you call a pie chart, yeah. This is a pie chart. Okay, and then you can include also like the percentage over here, the labels like this, or I don't know, I'm gonna select something nice like this. There you go. This is much better. And then on my legend is I'm gonna put it at the bottom instead of at the top. And I'm gonna make this a bold one. So this is pie chart. This is what you call a pie chart. This is how you can present the data. One way to do this is a pie chart. So you have pie chart, this one, this one, this one. What else? What else can we do with Excel? Well, let's see what other options do we have. Scatter plots, box and whisker plots, that's later. Tree map. Yeah. But Excel doesn't give us much of an option, doesn't it? Okay, let's try this now. Not a very good one. What about bubble? Nope. Nope, don't like it. What about this one? All right, so that's the one we already did. What else is this? Waterfall. Yeah. You can do a waterfall plot. Increase, increase, decrease. Do we see anything decrease here? Yeah, that's 40%. Okay, let's delete this, and then you just put this waterfall. Waterfall plot. This is also a good plot to make a summary of this. And I'm just gonna delete this percentage over here, make it much looking better. Okay, so we also have a waterfall plot. There you go. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ways where you can present this data. So yeah, so that's how you organize and summarize data. So basically, the hard part is trying to develop this frequency distribution table. Yeah, the hard part is trying to develop this. And after you develop this table, it's just a matter of plotting it in Excel. Then you're good to go. Any questions? Any question?
No, teacher.
All right. So awesome. So next, right now, let's do an exercise in Excel. Okay, right now let's combine lecture number 2 and lecture number 3, but using a different data. Okay, for example, you have you collect a research. I can save this also, so I can put it in a. Wait a minute. Where does it go? Where was my .excel went? Where did my Excel go? Did I lost it? Hopefully not. Wait a minute, did I lose it? Yeah, I did. It's fine. Let's just do it a new one. Okay, for example, imibe 40 dados, let's say 100 data points. You study about the weights, yeah? Toda mo si Eman niya. Okay, and then you collect 100 data. For example, yeah, you're collecting 100 data points. Wait a minute. Where did it go? I had it a while ago. You know what? Let's do that next time. Let's do better prepare. So next time, yeah, I lost the data. I will just do that next time. So next time, if it's whoever wants to follow me, next time we are going to combine lecture number 2, descriptive statistics, and this organizing and summarizing data, but we are doing it in Excel totally, completely in Excel. Okay, so next meeting or next week, if you want to follow along, you can open your own laptop and you can just follow along. So what does anybody use the latest Microsoft Office? Okay, mayoritariamente me usa ito tuang na.